Hero mode activated. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Christmas Hero, the channel where a true hero lives. And hey, I know it's been a while, and quite admittedly, I was actually thinking about quitting the game. But your boy heard that there were new Mask Hero support coming out, and I was like, you know what? The support's pretty good, so I was gonna stay in the game. So knowing that, and I'm not sure when the Mask Hero support is coming out, and it might not even come out before Nationals, I decided to go to a regional 2 days before the regionals. I haven't played in 2 months. I wasn't even thinking about Yu-Gi-Oh! And then on top of that, I had a shift right before the regional. So I literally stayed up 24 hours just playing the regional, tired out of my mind, not knowing what anything does. I knew what Malice is. I didn't know the new combo. I didn't know the new Mitsurugi stuff. And I said, you know what? I need to play a deck that doesn't require practice time to where I can get an invite in case I want to go to nationals, just in case. Because as you guys know, my schedule's busy. I'm actually in some of my scrubs now. I'm just filming this real quick before I go to work. So, long story short, I ended up picking this deck, which I actually have previous experience with, especially on Master Duel. And I was like, you know what? Let me share it, because I ended up not only getting my invite, but I ended up getting 54th with it as well out of like 400 plus people. And the crazy part was I started off undefeated, and then I lost round 4. Literally my loss is all regional, and it was to Mitsurugi Raizio. But it was really to my lack of knowledge, which makes sense. I haven't played in 2 months. I didn't look anything up. I literally, shout outs to Daniel Duong, because I literally got the idea to run this deck because he sent me a deck profile of it getting third recently at another regional. So the deck is actually Horus Stun. And shout outs to Agent Persuasion as well, because that's the deck list that did top that I got the idea to run this. But then I just made it my own little thing because I do have experience with Horus, and I was like, okay, this is like the perfect deck to top with. But all right, let's get right into it. I know it's not hero, but I think it's a pretty interesting deck, and considering it's rogue, tier 3 billion or whatever, and that I haven't played, and that I was playing on like no sleep after working in a hospital all night, I think it's pretty amazing I did as well as I did. So here we go, straight into the deck profile, guys. So yeah, we have 3 Amseti. I don't think I have to explain this. This is the engine of the deck. Big beater guy, gets you to the King Sark. Pretty good card overall. And then, of course, I have his troopers, Dalmatef, Qued, and Happy. I don't think I have to explain those either. But I did decide to play this just like Asian Persuasion did. But ironically enough, when I was playing this card in Deck of Master Duel, I played the card too. Because if you do randomly get in a grindy matchup, this card is really good. It didn't come up often in the regional, and I was actually thinking about cutting it. But the times it did come up, it pretty much saved me. So I was like, you know what? Okay, I'll keep it in. Worst case scenario, side it out. Next up, this is like one of the techs I like to do. I did play the one Gamma and the one Driver. Because if you do open this with Amseti, like, yeah, this is a brick, but you can just discard it off of Amseti and Gamma's still alive in your deck somewhere. And not only that, opening this with Amseti is literally game. Because the only card that stops Amseti if you go first, besides call, like, of course they can call by going second or strike, but the only card that stops I'm setting if I go first is Ash Blossom. So if I go ahead and Gamma their Ash Blossom, they pretty much lose. You get a free setup, and then I also run a card in the extra deck that kind of guarantees the loss. But you guys might be able to guess it, but I'll show it off later. Next up, we did run the cash package, and I was thinking about cutting this, but Fenrir is a really, really good card going second, and he actually played really well into boards. He always forced something or traded positively with this. So yeah, Finn Yeezy's like, the card's crazy. And then of course, I'm a fiend. We played the 6 fiends. We played 3 Majesty's fiends, 3 Vanity's fiends. These cards are absolutely broken. And the common setup with this is to do things like Coach King Giant Trainer. And if they imperm, cool. They waste that out to the fiends, and then you just tribute sack for the fiend. And if they don't, they lose because you draw 3 cards and you still tribute sack for the fiend. And since you're running 6 of these in 40, you have a really good chance to open it. And then if you don't even have a Coach King play, just tributing a horse monster and summoning one of these fiends is like crazy good. Especially since a lot of people are on hand traps over breakers. So they're only out as imperm. And then if you can get them to waste imperm, like even better. And then not only that, if you manage to do a fiend and then you have a floodgate. Even if they imprint, they got to deal with the floodgate. Now they usually lose. Next up, we have 3 King Sarcophagus. I don't think I really have to explain this card. This card's amazing. It's the engine of the deck. We have 3 Pot of Desires. I know a lot of people might be like, why are you playing Desires? What if you banish your Horus monsters? And actually, that's where one of my misplays came in on my round 4 loss. Like this card right here, like I had a choice to either start pitching with King Start or the Desires first. I decided Desires first, and it ended up costing me a game because I banished 2 of my things. Where if I would have just King Starts first, I probably would have won the game. But you know, haven't played in a while. But long story short, this is not only Ash bait, and you can still win with like 3 Horus monsters in the boards usually. But Ash bait, and then it replenishes your hand, because I feel like with Horus, you need to be able to replenish your hand. And being able to just +1 for free usually is like pretty crazy. So this card's very underrated in Horus. I feel like it's really good. If I resolved it, I usually won. Usually. So next up, Secret Village. This is the field spell lineup. Secret Village with the Pressure Planet Raso. And of course, the engine card is so Walls of Imperial Tome. This card combos really well with the Horus Dragon. Gets you to Amseti. I don't think I need to explain that. This card with Amseti is almost an FTK, especially if I open a Floodgate or a Fiend with it. It's even crazier. And this card helps me get to the Cash monster. And oh, by the way, another win con is literally going Fenrir and tributing for a Fiend. So even if they Ash your Amseti, that's 1 card less they have to deal with your board. So you can kind of put them on certain cards in their hand, like 2 engines, 2 hand traps, things like that, since that's kind of how the format is. Terraforming, don't think I need to explain this. Set rotation, this card is amazing. It gets you to your engine, it gets you to your secret village. And not only that, it makes it to where your monsters are unimpermeable. Hint, hint, wink, wink, Vanity's Fiend, Majesty's Fiend. There was a match that came up to where a Malice player tried to imperm my Vanity's Fiend and couldn't because I set rotation them. And on top of that, I did have Secret Village of the Spellcasters up, so he couldn't even activate the field spell. So he was locked out of his own field spell for more than one reason, and then I got going. So it was crazy. This card's nuts. If they Ash you draw 2, or you look at their hand. Anti-Ash card. One of the only cards is you might lose to. You don't, since you're running Fiend, you don't always lose the Ash anymore. And then I played this. This is one of the areas I deviated from Agent Persuasion's deck list. It's because Super Poly is really busted in this deck. Not only can you pitch Horus monsters, just being able to break boards or even to trade evenly with boards is really good in Horus because your big monsters can get over anything that's not a negate. Hence, if you can clear the way for Amseti, you can win. So this card was crazy, and this card helped me pretty much. I played against 3 Malices. I 2-0 2 of them, and then 2-1 1 of them. I didn't drop a single game to Malice. My losses were to 2 Mitsurugi Raizio, and then that weird, like I said, most of my losses were knowledge checks, and hey, that's a player issue because, like I said, I haven't played. But yeah, 2 Mitsurugi Raizio. I was misplaying against both of them, and that's fine. And the last one was to the control deck with Kashtira's, the R deck. I forget what it's called, but it's a bunch of big monsters that summon. And then next up, I ran the Floodgates. The only thing I would change, I'd probably run 1 more Floodgate just to make the ratio a little better. But I ran, there can only be 1, 2 Tyrant's Tirade instead of 3, because there can only be 1 that's really broken in this format. It can break boards. It's kind of like how I was using Rivalry and Goes into Hero. And then we all know Skill Drain. And the funny thing about these Floodgates, people were constantly opening the hand trap trifecta against me, where they'd go Perulia, Ash, Imperm, and they were losing as long as it went Floodgate Fiend. And then after the match, they'd be like, you opened everything. You opened everything. It's harder to open 3 3-ofs than it is for me to open 1 4-of and then 1 6-of, a Fiend and a Floodgate. But you know how Yu-Gi-Oh players are. They like to complain about luck instead of trying to get better. So I just always thought it was funny whenever I got those comments. Next up, we have the extra deck right here. So we have the Superstar Slayer Typhon, Sky Crisis. I don't think I need to explain this. This did come up and help me beat Malice to where basically I went this. Broke his board through other ways, and then I flipped Floodgate, so I ended up winning there. Zeus, don't think I need to explain Zeus. Hope Harbinger, level 8, spell negate. I did play number 1 Infection Buzz King. It's pretty much a free pop, and it also lets you look at your opponent's extra deck, so I can actually take their detonators. It never came up to where I was doing that, but the fact that you have that as an option with the pop is crazy. I did run this for the whole, if they try to imprint your fiend. It only came up once, but when it did come up, it pretty much solidified game. Because you can just change the target of imperm, or negate it, should I say. This card's amazing. One thing I used to not like about the deck is that they imperm this, you lose. But since you're running fiends now, it's actually your win con. If they imperm this, now they mega lose. They have to have 2 imperms, and it's really hard to open 2 imperms out of 3. So that's kind of like how I like to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I like to put them in a corner to where they have to open unlikable odds instead of just complaining about luck. I just make it unlucky for them, if that makes sense. That's the way to apply pressure in Yu-Gi-Oh! I play Garunix Eternity. This card's really good. I don't think I need to explain it. Ding, Protection, Send, makes it easier for Zeus plays. Now this card, I'm really shocked I don't see this more in Horus decks. Yeah, it's a negate that automatically has to happen, but the fact that it's a negate and it can jump over and attack is pretty good. This card right here, like, if you guys don't know it, it's Sir Lancelot. It's called Sir Lancelot, Dark Knight of the Underworld. It's really good. Next up, we have number 90, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord. I don't think I have to explain that. Monster negate. SP Little Knight, generic Link. I never went SP Little Knight, but it's just nice to have it Link. Especially the best one, right? And here's my super poly targets. Not only did I run Garura Mud Dragon, I ran the Predaplant guy. This card solos with Super Poly Malice going first or second. You can use it defensively, go into this, and then not only that, it negates any summon they put out from the link. It's crazy good. And then this is what makes Gamma and FTK if you open it with I'm Seti, Omega. So not only do they lose their Ash and you resolve I'm Seti, you get to snipe them for another card. It's really hard for them to break the whole Horus board with only 3 cards. So that's why Gamma got hit the 1, right? Like, people were Gammaing people and then Omegaing them. It's just too good, and you have the extra deck space to do it. And the other effects do randomly come up sometimes. Next up, I have the side deck. Sorry if I'm going fast, guys. I do have work, so I'm trying to just kind of speed through this, but I do want to show this deck off. Next up, I have Molcharmy Perulia. This card's really good. I didn't even know that people were maining it, but a lot of people were maining it. And then after reflecting on the weekend, I can see why. Full Wallows, you just can't hate Maxi. Maxi's really good. One change I'd make, I'd probably mean this too, because Horus can actually get away with maining it because they can pitch it. So just, but like I said, I didn't play, I didn't study, I just kind of went to regionals on no sleep. And I think that's so silly that I even topped and got an invite, but I did it, so yay. And I do want to say, even though like I'm technically a good player, I feel like the deck carried me. So that's why I want to showcase it. Next up is my tech card. Asian Persuasion, he ran Change of Heart to tribute their monsters, but I think this card's way better because it doesn't target. Spell card Soul Exchange. Not only does it not target, you get to tribute multiple monsters with this card. And it's a normal spell, just like Change of Heart. And they can't tribute your monster back, even though they do get to tribute summon. But usually that doesn't matter. You just spell card Soul Exchange, and then you contribute 2 of their monsters using a Horus monster, or even just summon a Magus' Fiend and turn off their board. Unfortunately, it didn't come up in tournament, but it has came up before. So I was like, I'm gonna at least play 1. So I never regretted Sighted and then Harpy's Feather Duster, Double Lightning Storm. I don't think I need to explain this. The only thing I will say is Lightning Storm is a lot better this format, and I was really shocked at that. Because Lightning Storm last format was kind of whatever, but it's really good this format. Next up, we have the 1 talents. I did want to run 2 talents, and that's probably a change I would make. It's just, honestly, I didn't really have lab time, and I didn't even like practice sighting patterns. So I knew I wanted to play at least 1, so I played it. Evenly, this is a card I did play. This is probably what I'd take out for the second thrust. It never really came up, but I did decide to play because I heard there was some Odeon deck or any other weird control deck like that one deck I lost. I think it's called Remission. I don't even know what the deck is, but that's why I lost to it, because I didn't know what it did. I opened Gamma, and I should have Gammaed his Unicorn, because I realized if I would have did that, he wouldn't have been able to summon his other Remissions or whatever, because he wouldn't have had a 2500 monster. And then I ended up losing, but yeah, just might as well as a thrust target, the 1 evenly. And then the 3 Judgment, this is like Judgment with Fiend, Floodgate, or Judgment with Fiend and King Sark setup is like OTK. They usually can't crack your board, and if they do crack your board, they're not killing you because they wasted way too much resources trying to do it. As long as you judgment the right thing. So like this card is crazy going first. But yeah, that's the deck profile, guys. I know it's been a while, and like I said, I was thinking about quitting. The game's at a place right now that I'm not really too happy with because I know I'm running floodgate deck, but I pretty much responded to the format how I feel the format is. You kind of got to have everything at the beginning of the game, and you're not really interacting with boards. You're kind of just like, because before it used to be a puzzle. You can interact with boards and break them. Now it's like, oh, open 2 hand traps, 2 starters, and interact with them on their turn. That way their combo's weaker. And I don't like that style of gameplay. I like being able to interact with boards, break them, do all that. That's why I play Heroes, because it's always like a puzzle. It's like a dual puzzle. But hey, I hope you guys like the deck profile. You might see more of me. I am gonna play a little bit more now that the new hero support is coming out. And yeah, if you guys are wondering what I think about the hero support, mask heroes are crazy. All we wanted was access to poly it through another way, and oh man, that'll definitely do it. So I'm glad I have my invite for just in case I decide to go. But anyway, Christmas Hero out.